How's everybody doing tonight? We're gonna be seeing if we can finish up our journey through the Banjo Kazooie Zelda-themed mod, the Jiggies of Time. From my understanding, there's about maybe 2, if not 3 more worlds at the very most left, so we should be able to finish this tonight. That's the goal, but we're still gonna enjoy ourselves, as at this point we have most of the collectibles, but there's still some more to get. So, a decent amount of journey left of the game tonight. But before we get into the main event, during this past week, there was some Banjo news in particular that did drop, and I feel it's somewhat related to what we're playing tonight in particular, so I kind of just wanted to showcase it. And it actually did kind of screw up some of my plans a little bit. If you guys follow me on social media, I might have hinted about a lot of plans I keep on making, keep on shifting because of remakes, remasters, or unofficial PC ports of games. This whole year, my schedule has been completely flip-flopped in terms of what videos to produce. Because I was thinking of maybe making some Banjo content for videos, and I think I'm going to wait a little bit longer now because of a very specific reason. That reason in particular is that there's another port on the way within a month from now. It is that soon, but the same people who worked on all the other N64 ports everyone knows and love, like the Ocarina port, Majora's Mask, Mario 64, Star Fox, Mario Kart 64, Harbor Masters are making a Banjo Kazooie decompilation port. And this is a big deal because this allows you to do a lot more with the game in terms of mods. And also, from the understanding based on the knowledge they've already gave out with this trailer, it's going to make playing a lot of the mods that are not converted over to the recomp a lot easier. So there's a lot of ROM hacks that need to get ported over to the recomp of Banjo Kazooie, which is a lot harder to do from what I understand. And this port is supposed to make the transition a little bit easier. So this is just an example here of some of the mods that we haven't seen yet, like multiplayer mods, some other ROM hacks, randomizers, stuff like that is going to be added to this port. And I am excited to see what exactly this version of Banjo Kazooie is going to let you do in terms of modding and just the feature set in general. There's some things in the recomp I hope are obviously going to be in this, like the note saving, for example. That is a pretty big quality of life. But the fact that we have not 1, but 2 Banjo PC ports, we're eating good this year for Banjo fans in particular. And one more thing, not going to be there at launch, but probably a few weeks to a few months after it releases. One big thing this is going to have over the PC port that we're playing tonight with the recomp, as I mentioned, randomizer is going to be built into this. We also work on Archipelago, the other randomizer that lets you link with other games. So that's interesting. Honestly, if I knew that was coming, maybe I would have held off a tiny bit more to play Jiggies of Time, because I would have loved to have seen how it played in that specific version as well. But this has been a very interesting year for unofficial ports. They've been coming out of the woodwork like crazy. So you never know what to expect. But it's exciting to see another one of these PC ports coming out for Banjo in particular. That's a huge deal. But now with that little coverage out of the way, I think it's time for us to jump into the main event itself. So we got ourselves 80 Jiggies here and 700 notes. If this follows the same formula as the base adventure, then there's 90 Jiggies and 900 notes. So not that much left. And thankfully, at the end of last session, we did unlock our way into our next world, so we don't even need to go over to the Gerudo Fortress, it's just right here. I'll turn that up a little bit on my end so I can hear the music. It's pretty subtle to start. I love the dynamic changing in the music right now. It's very subtle. That's one of the cool things about this mod in general. The music is very, very dynamic. Alright, let's check down here first. It's normally a pretty useless area in the vanilla game. Like right here would be a silver rock that leads to a grotto just with money. And that's it. It's just the most useless grotto in my opinion in the whole game. But nothing here. Hey there, Matt. How you doing? Does it just take me to the other side, or is this something else? Kind of an answer to both, actually. Well, I'm already here, so let's see what's up on this ledge. Is it just for a mumbo token? Thought there'd be a little bit more up here, not gonna lie. Oh no. That kind of softens the blow, to be fair. Good call. I'm gonna grab the notes this second. Oh, here's a Jinjo just kind of chilling in the tent. This is normally where you find the running man. At least in the future. In the past, this doesn't exist, except actually it does. There's a weird loading zone issue here, so the tent is here technically as child. Just you're never supposed to be able to get here as a kid. Nothing up on the tent. What in the world is this? It's a game of Tetris being played on the... Oh wait, is that supposed to be the Game Boy that survived an actual war? Like, that's the one that looks all destroyed and rusted looking. So I think that's the one that actually survived a proper war. That's probably why there's some stink lines coming off of it. No, I'm definitely not making that. I'm just gonna follow the water. Oh, a lot of overtime. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's good for the pay, I guess, but I can understand the exhaustion from it. I'm gonna bet if this is a structure of platforms that just leads to a waterfall, there's gotta be a secret behind it. Wow. That is not what I was expecting. There's literally nothing back here. How dare they fool my sense of waterfall whimsy. Come on, there's a waterfall, there's gotta be a secret behind it. That's just law. Oh, this was the other side of this. Oh, okay. Well, I guess there's no reason for me to have gone over this direction before. Alright, let's see if there's anything down here, because there's a cave. I might as well fall. Now I know I can get back up. What is this in the rubble? Super Mario Kart. Kind of a random place to fight, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, don't tell me. They're gonna make me poop from all the way up here to hit that tentacle. This has gotta be the shot of my life. Is it like here? In between the seams? Because I can just try hitting it from here. I didn't sound like I hit anything. I don't know where it is in relation to me. I'm too high. I think it is right in the middle of the bridge, but maybe it's from this side instead? What if it's just over here, actually? I can just do that instead, I guess. Eggs just kept on missing. I didn't think it would be right below me. That's why that was the last Hail Mary attempt. It was a good call at the end, but I kind of wish I got it with the eggs. That would have been a cool shot. One thing I do hope, though, going back to that big news about the other PC port of this game coming, I do hope that the Lighthouse port has slightly better, like, default controls, because the default controls on this are kind of wonky. Like, just to kind of show it, I've been meaning to remap these for a hot minute, I just keep on forgetting. This is the one where I'm just kind of like, it's the C buttons I don't like. Because C up and down being on the bumpers, and then, like, 2 different face buttons, it is kind of weird to get used to at first. But you have to have C up mapped to one of the bumpers in particular here, because with free camera, you can't use C up by pressing up on the right stick. It doesn't work. So you need C up mapped to something else. That's where I kind of hope maybe the default mapping for the other port will be slightly better. There won't be as many conflicts. But the fact we have free camera on this is kind of a huge deal, because not all recon ports do that. Alright, this has got to be the one that has the secret behind it, because that's... Yeah, I was going to say, there's the ladder. Just like the vanilla game. It's just for Gold Feather. That kind of feels like a slap to the face. Oh, my controller just died. I was wondering, like, I just literally got on the ground. Why am I not moving? That's funny timing. I haven't charged these batteries in a hot minute, so I'm kind of surprised they lasted that long. Thankfully, we have a spare one. It's not paired to the computer, so I'm just going to steal its batteries. Just a little bit of stealing from a live body. It won't mind. It's the one nice thing I love about having replaceable batteries. I can just swap things out and be right back up and running. That's the one thing I don't like about a lot of the modern controllers with lithiums. Because I have to go and plug it in, which means I can't use it anymore. Unless I got a really long cord. This feels like a thing I can probably break. Probably why I'm supposed to be able to get rid of this whip. And I stand up here and poop. Sure enough. I don't know how I'm supposed to hit the other rocks, but I just need one destroyed. That's good enough. Thank goodness it's not poison water. How green it looked, I thought it was going to take double the air. It's just Forest Temple that drains your life energy by trying to swim. Anything over there? Well, floating clams, I guess, for one. But, Mumbo token. And a honeycomb. Never mind, this area's pretty lucrative. Oh, but it's a small hole. Guess what's coming? Another transformation. Well, the only one that's small at this point that's left, and that could even fit in that hole, would be Walrus. Yeah, I barely don't fit, which is kind of funny to go that far in. Now, how would I get the honeycomb, though? This must be a thing to come back for later? Because I don't see any way of going from water level up, unless there's like a flight pad I didn't see somewhere. But this is definitely out of reach, so... Actually, wait a minute. That hole, I think it's leading out to water. Maybe this is B, actually, because I think the B might be able to fit there. That'd be good if they didn't use Walrus, because Walrus just kind of exists. The Walrus, Pumpkin, they're both basically the same thing when it comes to use cases, except the Walrus is slightly bigger, so can't fit the holes. So if they got to scrap a transformation in this, I think Walrus would probably be the one they wouldn't use. Something tells me this is probably the final transformation. I might be able to fall from ceiling. I didn't see any holes, though, so I'm not 100% sure on that one. Really wish there was a way up from here, though. This is kind of the obnoxious part. I can see probably like a good chunk of my game time in this world is probably just going to be from this section alone. Like how much time have I already spent in this section? Yeah, that's about right. This felt like at least 10 minutes. Because there's a lot of back and forth. But this is now the part I can actually start making some progress into the real part of the Gerudo Fortress and not just be stuck in Valley. Making sure there's nothing on the other side of this bridge I didn't get. I didn't see anything else over there, so I should be fine. Excuse me, Stalfos at home. I don't remember the Stalfos and Ocarina being so goofy. Now imagine if there was guards here to worry about, just like actual Ocarina. We have hands, so guards at home. Oh, it's a transformation section here. Okay, cool. We only saw that in the Castletown area. This remix slaps. This is really good. Hi, this is the archery guy. Come on, come on. To Naughty's fabulous shooting gallery. Get on that carpet and shoot down those targets. And the prize is as good as yours. Question, where's the carpet? He said get on that carpet. I already left. I don't know where it is now. There it is. Hey, don't drop me on a tree. I missed. It didn't seem like all my eggs were coming out. I heard 3 get shot, and I only saw 2 exit Kazooie's mouth. That is kind of weird. It's like a loading issue here. Like, not all eggs are actually spawning. I mean, this is an N64 game. Even though I'm playing on the PC version, it's still gonna have those N64 jank moments. I don't get near those cacti, so I have to come back with a transformation. It's gotta be the B. Yeah, look at this, dude. My eggs are just despawning before they get even close to my targets. Got it. Nice. I didn't know I was gonna get that first try. Something told me I might have been too low, but I'm good. Alright, I guess we're done with Naughty. I do want some eggs, though, because that used a good chunk of them. So, it would be nice to get a little bit of a refill. I'm not gonna go for all of them, but that's a good start. Any way to get into the training grounds, I wonder? I don't want to go to Spear Temple yet, so let's start entering into the fortress itself. Which this is definitely not where I thought that would put me, because that just warped me to the other section immediately, so I guess there's no inside sections. These are just coupled loading zones. One of them might be inside to go to Mumbo's hut at most. Oh, wow, these aren't even properly coupled. Like, they might take me somewhere completely different than I would expect, because that was just a loop. That is kind of the one annoying thing, though. Going through the loading zone is going to reset the music. So it's going to reset a lot. Those aren't solid. Good to know. Why do we keep on going to this specific entrance? Like 3 different loading zones that connect to that one entrance alone. Make that 4. It's better not go to the same door again. Oh, thank God, it's somewhere new. Is that Echoes? Yep, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. What a random spot to find that game. It was buried under a rock, so I guess that's subtle messaging of... it's as good as a stopper for a boulder. I see the subtle messaging. Hey, this should hopefully put me on top of the jail, right? Well, it's close enough. We might go Prime 2 alone. Hey, it is a good game, so I'm just kind of messing. Much better than Prime 4. To be fair, that's not much of a hard bar to set, because 4 is the weakest in the Prime series. To me, even weaker than Hunter, so that's saying something. 4, that was my least favorite. Oh, it's gonna be like all the boulders, isn't it? Okay, well, 2 is not as many as I expected. You know, this is kind of a funny callback to the actual Ocarina of Time jank that's here in Gerudo Fortress in particular. Because this is a piece of heart for some reason up here. If you're here as a child. I wonder if that's gonna be in the remake. Just to mess with people. That'd be hilarious if they don't remove it. Smash Brawl. I see. Put it right next to the jail cell, where it belongs, huh? More subtle messaging. I remember a problem Brawl had was the tripping. Other than that, it was actually really good. Well, actually no. There were 2 problems, because the other problem was the horrendous netcode, but that was also one of the very first console games that had an online mode in Nintendo's history, so it made sense why it was crap. I think it's better now using like Wii 5 servers. Like, it's not that bad. It's just held back by the 10 megabit per second like network card in the Wii's. It's definitely a card of all time. Oh wow, we don't even go through the actual like Haunted Wasteland section. We're just right here to the Desert Colossus. Why are you in the floor? I kept my pitch. I'm not the one making the hot takes. It's the game's placement of these, well, game references. To be fair, if there was an actual GTG in this, I wouldn't be surprised that it put yet another game that would have, like, the hot takes in toilet room. Which I guess at that point would basically say, this game blows, throw it in the toilet. I'm trying to remember what Zelda game this music's from, because it's been a while since I've heard the theme. It's very familiar. Chat, if you know it, just go ahead and fill in the blank, because I can't remember off the top of my head. Well, no, the song question's not Chippy Rope Ziplash, but I'm glad you got the reference I was making, Matt. Okay, the Oasis is still over there in the corner. Oh, another game. That Banjo Pilot or Grunty's Revenge? Banjo Pilot. I've heard very mixed things about Banjo Pilot. I've never played it, but I hear it's okay. I think it was a game of its time situation, that's kind of why, where I think it was a lot more enjoyable to people when it first came out, but now it's kind of showing the seams because it's a racing game on a Game Boy Advance, a 3D one at that. Man, the flute goes crazy in this song. Holy crap. That was weird. No sound. Guess all the noises around me covered up the mumbo sound and engine. Gives me a headache, won't stop. Again, this flute goes hard. I love burning like half of my gold feathers because these bees won't leave me alone. But thank goodness they give you one. Was this a song from Four Swords Adventure, maybe? I don't... Because I know it's not a mainline game one. It might be one of the spin-offs. That's why, again, I'm not recognizing it immediately. I think of today's gaming news. There was news today? I legit, I don't know what you're talking about if there was, because I haven't heard. There have been minor things over the past couple days. And I thought about one of them with the Lighthouse announcement for this specific franchise, but that's the only real thing I can comment on. Oh, the Ninja Theory thing. Yeah, that was sad. I don't know what exactly happened there. I guess they weren't making enough money, even though I thought I heard Hellblade 2 sold pretty well for the Xbox brand, so I don't know why exactly they were shut down, but that sucks. Like, it really does. No matter what, it seems like even if Xbox is trying to come back, they're still gonna make fumbles. That is just kind of the name of the game. Alright, let's get some hints real quick. A green tent in Gerudo Valley hides a clue. Oh, there was something in there? Oh, I got the Jinjo. The Ancient Forest Temple language could help out in this dungeon. Oh, no, don't make me read Hylian again. Finally, the best way to best the buzzing bees is by wielding the wondrous Wonder Wing. Okay, that I know, but... Okay, give me a minute. It just told me I'm gonna need a stinking cheat sheet again here. I should still have the screenshot. Yeah, I still have my Hylian screenshot here. So I'll just have it on standby, now knowing. And if what you heard, it's because they spent too long making the game, and the one they did beforehand was a live service, it wasn't popular. Okay, that would make more sense. I didn't know about the live service game thing. So that probably cost Ninja Theory a lot more money than what we anticipated. Because again, Hellblade 2 did sell well. It was also multi-plat, I believe. I don't think it was just an Xbox game. So when games are on more than just Xbox, that usually helps. But I guess it didn't help enough. Can I make that? I feel like I could probably just make that. I'm gonna try this for a minute and then I'll go from there. Because I don't know where else I'm supposed to go to get in the Spirit Temple, because that is a way up. Let me look outside. But yeah, no, like, go back to that story. It sucks to hear still that there's shutdowns, and I've heard also now that Xbox is going through like weird issues at the moment because of the pricing. Nice mumbo head, by the way. I didn't even realize they were gonna change out the statue here in particular from the symbol was used in Ocarina of Time, the mumbo. So that's pretty good. But no, the other issues I've been hearing about Xbox right now is because of the pricing of all the hardware. They're selling systems at like, what is it, like a 500% loss or something crazy high. And they're already talking about all these different problems. Like, this might make us rethink our decisions going forward, like Project Helix and future endeavors. There's talks they might legitimately be a third party because of that, since they might outsource their hardware like they did with the ROG LIX thing. So there's a lot of like very questionable things right now that they are pretty much like, we're trying to fix our brand, but the world's not helping. Like, that's pretty much what they're citing. Like, I don't know what to think of Xbox. I still kind of feel the same as I did when all the disaster was hitting the fan last year with them, where I don't really think they have much more in them at this point. I think the brand, if they're lucky, is going to have one more system. But based on how things are going right now, that might not even happen because of the hardware prices. So they'll be lucky to even get to launch this Project Helix machine. But either way, it's still not looking great for all their studios involved too. It sounds like all the studios are gonna have to suffer. Because I think there was also some kind of like retirement program thing, I think, that also leaked with Xbox, which encourages you to retire before, you know, the layoffs hit. So there's a lot of concerning news still with that brand. Okay. Really? A broom? Your new incredible spell is a household object? Even for you, this... Well, broom can fly. Oh, that's actually quite useful. Can barren birds sweep entrance before they leave? You better be quiet before I shove my broomstick up your... I'm not gonna finish the sentence. I'm still trying to be family friendly. I gotta pause for a second though, because I think I got a thing in my eye. I feel something like right in the edge. That's fun. I knew the bee was gonna be our next transformation, but freaking a broomstick. What a creative way of handling it. Let me just use this, might be easier. Oh yeah, there's definitely something in there. Fun. Yeah, the other studio I also heard in question was Double Fine. We don't know what that's gonna entail, but it's not good news. It sounds like Double Fine might also, unfortunately, get hit with the same bad fate as like every other studio right now, which is very unfortunate timing. Microsoft just bought Double Fine, what was it at this point? 3 years ago? It was pretty recent, so that's not good. Isn't Double Fine even working on like a new project right now too? Because I don't know if we have anything announced from them, like officially. Oh, that's a chest. I can't get that now with the broom. I can't see anything with this angle, though. Oh my god. There's a thing back here. Well, actually, really quick. I'm gonna take a very, very short break because I gotta put an eye drop in my eye. Whatever's in here is really irritating it. So, let me just go do that really quick. So, just give me 1 minute, and we'll be right back. Alright. I think that should be good now. Got, I think, a thing of hair in my eye because I started to notice as soon as I got the eye drops in there, something popped out, and it definitely looked like a hair. Fun! Alright, well now we should be good, so let's continue flying around as Stick. What is this? A secret way in? I don't know where I'm at! This camera's not really helping. It's like a whole new room for Spirit Temple, which goes into the main foyer. I still can't see with this angle. Okay. I can transform back. Dude, what is this? I don't think I've seen that picture yet in particular. That's why that one's getting me. Alright, let's use the Banjo pot. Go back to Baron Bird. Get rid of Stick. There we go. I love just the old-fashioned picture of someone back in, like, say the 1800s time period, but there's an N64 just randomly in the picture. Classic. There you go. Okay, so I was supposed to be able to get up there with another shock pad. Can I stand on these? Nope, that's a full-on slope, not just a Banjo-only fall-down slope. Like, I need Termite for that. This should take me back to that center room by the bet. Yeah, so I can come back in here at any time now because I hit the switch. So I needed the broomstick transformation just to get into the rest of Spirit Temple. That was not just a little extra thing you could maybe find some Jiggies with now. Like, that was required. No child section here, any kind, so I'm not really going into any of the rooms I'm familiar with. Same for the adult side. This doesn't exist either. I do hear Jinjo nearby, though. Nah, just let it go. Maybe this has a Jinjo. Sure enough, but I hit the wrong angle. Other than that, not hit him on the way down. It's actually kind of interesting how I can come back in here, but I really don't have a reason to come back into this part of Spirit now. I do want to see, though, any reason why this is here. I don't think so. I think it might just be an Easter egg thing. I had to check because Forest Temple had something in a painting, so you never know. And I bet I can't get into, like, the boss room here. No, you can. You know, it's going to be a very out of left field comment to say this, but if you know your Ocarina lore, you're going to understand what I'm about to say here in just a second. Are they going to leave the hookshot targets there in the remake? It's such a dumb thing. You know that was intentional. You know that was intentional, that in the middle of the statue's pointy bits, they put hookshot targets. I got the hookshot collision right on them. Someone did that intentionally, because that is not an accident. Other hookshot collision left in the game, I can get being an accident. That's the one I'm like, no. There are doubt. There are some high levels of doubt there. I think those hookshot targets even exist in the 3D version. Oh, the fake Jiggy in front of the real one. Nice touch. Now, I don't know what that says. And I don't know if I can read that Hylian because it's in a really bad spot. I don't think you're meant to read that Hylian. Oh, okay. Alright, now we're gonna leave the way we came. I'm gonna fly up. Because I don't really have any other reason to be in this part of Spirit. But I think I do have a reason to be on the higher section. And before that painting does have something inside of it. Well, before we leave, this is a very easy flight pad to get back to. So now we have access to that. There's Jinjo there. Stuff on Mumbo's hut. Including another Mumbo token, which I think at this point, unless there is one more transformation left in the game, I don't really see a use for the Mumbo tokens anymore. Oh, there you go. That's what was behind there. I saw a green thing. It's Sea of Thieves. Isn't that the most modern game we actually saw in this ROM hack? I think that might be the most modern game. Which that's kind of weird to think about. But it does make sense why we're seeing that. That is a game made by the same team, per se, like the development studio that made Banjo Kazooie. It's not the same people because they left Rare at that point and formed Playtonic. Because I believe, when was Sea of Thieves? Was that 2018? Because by then, the spiritual successor of the Banjo Kazooie ukulele was already out. I know the Kickstarter was way before that, but I'm trying to think of timeline when the game came out. And I believe Sea of Thieves was after ukulele's release. Now I'm gonna get rid of this whip crack, another good area to come back to if I need a flight pad. I think that's it. So now I'm gonna want to use the broom, I bet. Oh, that's actually in there. Okay, well, I'm going back into Spirit then real quick. Oh, wait, no, I can't. That's for broom. I immediately regret jumping down. This is why we destroyed that whip crack on the ladder. It's immediately gonna fix my mistake. I think everything else we need is probably going to be related to Broomstick. It's still the most goofy looking transformation because of the stinking googly eyes. Hey there, Kira, how you doing? Man, I really wish this was the Banjo Tooie B where he has the speed up button. Unfortunately, that didn't happen until the sequel, and I haven't found a mod that puts B controls in from Banjo Tooie in the Kazooie. Hey, maybe with the decomp. Maybe with that port. We never know. Alright, that's all that's here. What an interesting child side. Just a tomb. And I have no reason to go into the middle anymore. So, peace out. I'm going back to Fortress now as a stick. Thank goodness there's nothing blocking the way over here. But I think this is how I get into the jail cell. And is this the final Jinjo, excuse me, or do I need one more? I can't remember. No, one more. I'm still missing the blue one. Ah, crap. I didn't want to actually fly yet. I was trying to do that in the hole. This might be slightly faster because it's an incline. There you go. Worth it. Bit physically busy with moving things around. Now, hopefully things go well on that front. Don't worry, have too much trouble. I'm imagining you're moving a bunch of furniture in question. Based on the context is what it feels like. While I'm here, I need to check this tent. I did get a hint saying there was something in here. So, what are we talking about? Oh, well, there's a 3DS. I don't think that's what they meant. Oh, it's the Ocarina of Time 3D port. Well, I was wondering if we were going to see that here. That's a very cursed looking 3DS, though, because the hinge is slightly bigger on the left side. That is cursed, man. And I think that's some promotion art for the game in particular. And hopefully these boxes we don't destroy. Oh, there's another thing over here. I think that's Majora 3D. Yeah, that's Majora's Mask 3D. So we see the game being played that this is based off of in the 3DS, and then its sequel just on the floor. They haven't gotten the Majora 3D yet. Oh, no wonder why I couldn't find the last Jinjo. I couldn't get up here. Just one more. Oh, I'm supposed to be over here? How in the world would I have gotten over here as Baron Bird? There's gotta be a transformation area here then, because I don't know if there's any way to get here without broomstick. Ooh, I should couch and mattress. I can see why you're saying gonna be physically busy, because those are going to be big items to move. Yeah, hopefully that goes well. Where's the hole? There was a hole I did see that takes me into that cave with the honeycomb piece we saw out here. So I need to find it. I can't be too far away here because I'm definitely going way further out than where the cave is. Oh, here we go. This works. So that's that. Now I gotta figure out how do I get with that section with the flight pad, because that has to have my last Jiggy. Everything else now is collected. That was all honeycombs. I got the 100 notes. So it's just one more Jiggy left, and it's got to be over here somewhere. If I had the bet, it'd be underneath one of those rocks. I don't know how you were supposed to get over here. I don't see any Banjo Kazooie pot. Not that. They did say something about Hylian in this section, but I have not found a single thing outside of the tomb in the Spirit Temple itself that was Hylian, and there's no way I was translating that. Actually, wait. Don't go transform back yet. I don't need to use this bee, I think, anywhere else here, but I'm wondering if there is a transform point near entrance. That'll tell me everything I need to know. I might need... No, okay. You can't use this outside of the Gerudo Valley area. So this is not used in Hyrule Field. That's great to know, actually. Just gotta figure out how to get over here. Not with this. Let me transform back. This would be my shortcut to transform back, I guess. No, I do that every time I'm trying to move the camera. There's not a flight pad I saw anywhere here. That's the big thing I know will help, because that will take me to the section I need in question, but I didn't see a flight pad here. It was just the one up on the top of the waterfall, ironically enough. I need a flight pad. There is a ladder behind that waterfall, which just took me up to where a gold feather was. So the heart piece there normally didn't have anything else. I am wondering, though, maybe it could be a hidden flight pad, where it's just something that's in the floor, but not like a visible texture. They've done that here and there in this game. They also said something about in the tent. I'm still kind of confused what they meant by that. Unless they literally were just meaning like the Jinjo or something, which I already got. That hint to me kind of feels worthless. No hidden flight pad. Nice texture issue there. It's showing me the water texture because of how the camera's kind of moving around. Alright, so there's no flight pad there. No flight pad I can use in this area in particular, but this section's still kind of sus. It legit feels like they're missing a peg. Not a single one of these had a hidden flight pad, so not that either. And they put the red feathers here, so you are supposed to find a flight pad. That is something I'm gonna have to assume is intended. I might legit tap out on this one just to look at a video guide from the dev. Because I feel like I am missing something, and maybe it was with Broom. If it is, I'm going to be a little upset because I have to go all the way back over the Spirit Temple. Or transform back. That's kind of a hike. Yeah, I think I will just do that at this point, because I don't know if there is a hidden flight pad out here, and just for the sake of time, I think we'll just tap out on that one and find it. Alright, so Gerudo Valley. Wait, was that the final? No, final Mumbo token. Oops, that's the wrong thing to click. I want the final Jiggy. Only problem here is I don't know which one is the one I'm missing in this video guide, so I'm actually looking at things that are probably not related anymore. Rather bet. Yeah, I think this is supposed to be when you're first. Oh, hang on, hang on. I see. There is a hint in the tent, but I didn't look in the right spot. That's why. There is something here, and it's at the very end of those pillars. That must spawn a flight pad. Now, I am still gonna fault the game for that being a little too hidden, because while I did get the hint from Brentilda saying check for something in particular in that tent, it's gonna help you along your way. There's a couple things in the tent, so that's a little too vague still. Yeah, that's a hidden switch. There's literally no way of knowing that's there. Unless you found the hint. It's a little too vague. I would like that to be a little more clairvoyant. Like, maybe Brentilda could say hidden switch in Valley or something. We were talking about ukulele earlier. That's the ukulele factory. So, straight from the spiritual successor of Banjo Kazooie, now in the world of Banjo Kazooie. I've seen that thing here. What game do we got? I can barely see that. It's a Game Boy game. I think it's Donkey Kong Land? Which one? Donkey Kong Land 3. That's the one that was based off of Donkey Kong Country 3. I actually played those games for the first time last night doing those DK challenges, and I will say, the first one I think is probably the one that's aged the worst, because 2 and 3 just felt so much better in control. 1 felt very floaty. Not bad games, they're still pretty good. I'm just not the biggest fan of the controls. You wanna come over here? Yeah, screw this. That works just as well. Alright, what am I missing here? I'm supposed to be over here, obviously, but I don't know what I'm doing in this area. Unless it was literally just for notes, but that doesn't feel right. Let's get a better look at the factory from Ukulele as I just double check what I missed here. I feel like I'm still missing something. Okay, I'm gonna do that thing again. I'll explain in a minute. I almost actually fell off. You have the right idea, Kira, but it's not a beak balm. Let me just tell you, do you see anything wrong with this picture? Anything at all that stands out? Because I definitely can't. That's too subtle. The one boulder that is a slightly lighter brown. That's the only thing that's different there. It's too subtle. That definitely kind of felt like it has eyes. So maybe move the eyes out a little bit so it's a tiny bit easier to see. Because I legit could not tell that was a boulder that I needed to destroy. That threw me off. Alright, let's view our totals, because at this point we should be done. 100 notes, 10 jiggies, 12 honeycombs, about an hour. That's not terrible. Especially given how I was fumbling around with the first 10 minutes and then the final 10 minutes. Yeah, see, that's why I'm kind of give that a little bit of crap. That Jiggy in general defined both where the flight pad was to get up there as Banjo Kazooie, and then also the random hidden boulder that was extremely subtle. I don't like that. That's too cryptic to me. Snowboard Kids? I think that's the first one. That's what it looks like to me. Alright, we should have enough notes, I think? I'm going to Temple of Time. Because I don't know where else I'm supposed to go at this point. Because I've went around all of Hyrule Field, and I haven't seen any other note doors. And sure enough, Bottles is going to say something with that weird load. Okay, well, he's just going to congratulate. That's normal. That's nothing different. Give me something different, buddy. Is it finally time for the 7-year time skip? $765. Just like actual Banjo-Kazooie, well, besides the horrendous camera angle there. Great, that's what can happen in the base game. Just like the actual main game, you do need, like, 90%, at least, of all collectibles. So this opens the way to Grunty's Castle, which is in Temple of Time. That makes sense. Whoa, whoa, I gotta go back. Hang on, that was a fun out of bounds. What am I seeing over there? No, I want to look back. Oh, it's supposed to be the rooftops outside, but obviously it doesn't fully render. That's how you got that weird void look. Oh, the actual Master Sword! So the one in the woods, that was an imposter sword, just like Link to the Past. You found Master Sword, question mark? It is extremely rusted. There's Hylian back here? That's a good thing I have my notes up still for Hylian, because I want to know what that says. I'm gonna look like this so I can actually see it on my notepad. It's gonna look a little weird. Alright, it's time for everyone's favorite game. Me staring at a PNG for 5 minutes, because I don't know what this says. Can't tell, is that looped in like a 6? For the second letter? That would be almost like a W, except that's completely backwards. What was a double line again? Wasn't that like an E? Yeah. Second letter is a E. And those last two letters are the same, so that makes this easier. Once I find those, which look like 3 lines, so that's S. Oh, I guess that's supposed to be an R. It's, oh, I get it. I know what that says now. I don't even need to finish writing. Well, first things first. Just in case I want to use this as another thumbnail. Because last time I did the same trick. That's an in case. Alright, I just stand right here in front of the Master Sword. What the Hylian language said behind it? Press A. And with that, we are in Grunty's Castle. And this is in the future, alright, because it's over lava. Which, I don't know where lava comes from, but hi. 828. So there's still more note doors left. Just barely can't fit. There is another transformation. Unless they bring one back. Dude, there's a flight pad on the other side. Dude. If I found some way around that, I can just skip the note door. Oh, this is a remix of the Hyrule Castle theme from Breath of the Wild. It's the specific, like, punch to the notes that kind of sounds like a whoopee cushion going off. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, they did use the walrus. There's the thing that tells you what's left. Ice water can only be gone through by walrus. Well, that just kind of feels redundant. The ladder right here, why was it a full loop? Hyrule Pass. We are 7 years in the future. It's actually interesting. A majority of this quest is actually in the past timeline, but the final encounter is when you go into the future. Oh, this is our double defense. And it's actually a double defense thing. So that gives me double honeycomb. We get it before the final boss. It actually has use. Let's go. In the vanilla game, I wonder why they even bother with that, because it's only a thing you can use against Grunty. So the double honeycomb feels almost worthless by the time you get it. Because you have to get 100% of the game anyways just to fight Grunty. They probably went out of your way for all the honeycombs to begin with. It helps, don't get me wrong, it's just a little too late kind of situation. Final boss might be accessible from here. It does depend on how they change up loading zones. We'll have to see. Because as of right now, we are technically in a level, since we can see our note count being set to 0. Going into this level. But they do trickery to get the note doors working here because, yeah, that's not supposed to be here. Note doors are not in levels in Banjo Kazooie, so there are weird trickeries that this game is doing. I'm not gonna fall down there just yet. I need to comb over the room first. I got a Brintilda here to talk to. I got notes. And I also don't know if there's anything on the top that I got to look out for. Probably not, for the bet. Oh, these are the sages. Hang on. Who's that? That's a weird looking sage. We're gonna do the same thing I did in, like, what, part 1? Hi. There's another dude from GoldenEye, just kind of chilling. Just peeks in. That, or it might be a dev, I'm not 100% sure on that one. Alright, hints. First up, even Mario wouldn't be brave enough to jump into Grunty's toilet. Okay, so this is Pumpkin. Because... Talk. Why would they tell you about that specific hint? I saw an old friend of yours walking into Grunty's bedroom. And then finally, I saw Grunty stuff something in the storage room closet after her trip to Platonic Studios. Oh, I see. She jumped more than 7 years in the future, alright. Alright, let me look at the rest of these pictures. They got Raru, Saria, Darunia. I don't know who that one is. We got Ruto, Impa, and Naburu. One of these is not like the other. Grunty thinking she's a sage. Okay, so I have to get out from the top area. This is almost like the jail in Wind Waker. We're even kind of like the start of the Sealed Palace, because you start that ROM hack of Ocarina in a jail cell. I gotta explore more of the outside still, because I kind of just went straight into the note door the second I saw it on the outside. You can tell this is where Grunty lives. Nothing is clean. She is not one for cleaning. Both her house and her own body, as we've learned from the Gruntilla questions. I'm only going one place that nobody ever wants to go. I don't know how, though, going down Grunty's disgusting toilet takes me here, though. I'm just suddenly in Mario 64's castle instead. That's where all Grunty's poop goes? To Mario? Still seeing the frozen water here. So, can I... Yeah, there is a hole there, so I'm supposed to leave this area with a transformation. I can't do anything in the water right now, though, because of the, you know, frozen tundra water temperature. So I'm gonna opt to not go in the water yet, and wait a minute. Is that Mumbo's hut? We're looking at Mumbo's hut. It's just a castle. I think this just remixed into a Banjo song now. Nice. Combination of the Mario 64 music and then Banjo music. Alright, well we kind of know what's left. Process of elimination here. It's gotta be Walrus. There's no other transformation left in the game. The fact that that's our final one kind of feels like we're ending on a whimper though, because Walrus doesn't really do much besides go through the cold waters. Oh, I got the washing machine anyways. Spell it wrong. Mumbles loincloth dirty. You wash? I can't believe we got the Easter egg and a ROM hack. That's definitely not the same thing. Uh-oh, that's not what's supposed to happen. Sorry. Mumbo thirsty. Oh, come on. Well, Baron Burr not bothered by cold water, so there's that. Ah, who am I kidding? Do my laundry. Get back here. What am I exactly? Is that like a strawberry drink? I'm assuming it's like a strawberry slushy. That's what it looks like. Wendy's Blizzard. It's some kind of like a soft drink thing, like Blizzard or smoothie or something. Hashtag not sponsored. Clever. Oh, don't tell me I need a hole in the ice, and I need to do that as the Baron Bird. This could be an homage to, yeah, something about like the OOT referencing Mario 64 thing from early development stuff. It might be. How do I get into the ice? I don't see a hole. Really wish I could move faster though. Like these tiny little transformations are not fast. The only one that has some speed is the B because you have a boost button. That's it. Alright, I think if anything, because of that hole there in the castle, I think I'm supposed to find a way in from the castle area. Now the question is, where would that be? Because this transformation does not have much of oomph to its jump. I can't really make large jumps. Maybe this? Again, please tell me I didn't need Baron Bird for the cannon. Okay, we're good. Let's go into the castle first. It's probably gonna take me on the balcony, if I had to bet. Are you kidding me? Half tempted to enable the transformation mod. Half tempted. I won't though. We're playing this as authentic as Dev intended. If I really wanted to cheat, I just turn that on, transform anywhere, boom, back to Bird and Bear. Or even better yet, broomstick. And I'll just fly. That's how much power I have thanks to mods, but I'm not gonna abuse that power. To be fair, I have them all unlocked now, so I shouldn't need to worry about the transformation requirement thing in the mod. I can just probably leave that setting off. With the little, oh, that's what it is. I was like, what's with a little fan grill here? I was like, AC? In this time of year? Nice hot exhaust, though. At least the extra life is somewhat referencing how there's like 3 of them up here. Normally in Mario 64. Kinda weird how the whole time you're referencing Ocarina of Time stuff. Now we're referencing Mario. Oh no. Well, I tried landing back into the... Wait, is that more stuff up there? There are more notes. Oh, I gotta go back. Shouldn't have jumped down yet. I was wanting to just try to land on the ledge with the golden feather. That was a terrible idea. I hope that guy does not have something inside of him, because I do not want to find a fight pad here. After the nightmare we had back in Gerudo Valley. God, this thing is so slow. This is like the one thing I give the sequel, Banjo Kazooie, a lot of credit. The transformations aren't as bad to use in that game in terms of the movement. Most of them are still very slow, don't get me wrong. But the warp system fixes so many problems, so it doesn't matter. Warp pads would be huge in Banjo Kazooie 1. I don't know if there's any mods out there that make like a warp system. The closest I can think of probably would just be using a bunch of loading zones next to each other, if I had to bet. Can't believe we're already 4 Jinjos in. Feels like I should still be only 3 Jinjos in at most. No, not again. Every time I want to try to make that jump, I just don't make it. Nice whiff. And now it's finally actually go through the water for real. Now, there's no reason to go over near these whips because I'm done with Mumbo tokens. So this is like the most redundant Mumbo token of all time. But I want to see what this is. Grabbed by the Ghoulies. I think that was one of the very first games that Rare made under Microsoft's umbrella, in particular. That was the first release one, if I remember correctly. I've heard good things. I haven't really played it. I believe that should be in the Rare replay, if I'm not mistaken. So it should be pretty easy to just play nowadays. I gotta see what's the death hole. Huh. Legit death. Not even just a void out death, it's just we reset you way back to beginning. That's not a great thing for the stinking piece of food. If I want to transform back, that's probably the best way to do it, I guess, because I could just try to leave. But I'm gonna try to get to the little frozen pool and hope I can make it. This thing is very slow. Going where no soft drink has gone before. 7 years into the future. I'd barely make it like 7 days into the future without expiring. Okay, I don't think there's anything else out here in particular this needs to be used for. So maybe this hole in particular was just in case you fell down that death hole, because it warped you back to the very beginning. Or it is just for a Jiggy. Okay, now I got another question then. How do I get back? I legit don't know what to do now with this transformation. So I might have to force transform back to Baron Bird. 55. Was that 865 I needed for notes? There's nothing else here, so I might as well just jump. A natural death, too. What's wrong, Banjo? Is it tough? Let me know when you had enough. I had enough of this transformation. I can't do anything as slushy. We'll go back and get the transformation again later, because I can't do anything with the thing now. That's just pain and torture for no reason. I might even need to use the transformation later once I have that note door unlocked that's in this area, because once that's unlocked, then maybe I go through the door with the transformation. So I can't even finish using it yet if that's the case. I don't have enough notes. Okay, that's all the notes around here. I don't think I can hit these grunty eyes that I'm seeing. If I can stand on these rooftops, then maybe. But they might be slippery slopes, so this might not work. Oh, never mind, that works. But no, can't do anything, so I might need to fly. There's plenty of red feathers around the area, which should hint at a flight pad being here. Sure enough, there's a random star out here, so I gotta fly into that. So there's gotta be a flight pad. Oh, that's 828 notes. Okay, well there's the flight pad. I already know that's where I can get it. So now I have access. But let's continue to climb Grunty's statue here. This kind of reminds me of the statue you climb in DK64. It's the same as the King K. Rool statue in some ways. 846, I can go in. Oh, this must be for the final boss, if I had to bet. 20, I don't have enough. Looks like you two are a joke. Stopped by my big door of oak. You forgot a space there. Pieces that you left behind to battle me, you must now find. So I need 4 more. Which, what does that mean for totals? Let me check it outside, because I'm not doing the whole menu process. Because this counts as Hyrule Field now. Okay. So if I need 4 more, that's 7 out of 10. Which means that when you combine the 4 Jiggies you need for getting the final honeycomb upgrade. Let me just do the math all together here, right? So if I need like 4 more, that puts me at, it's like 87 Jiggies that I need to beat the game, minus 4 to that. That is 83. That is a odd number to need to beat this game, because that's a tiny bit more, I think, than original Banjo Kazooie. Say like you 90% Banjo Kazooie 1, then this game's like 91%. It's like that subtle. I have double health, so I don't care. Hopefully I did the math right on that, by the way, because I'm just kind of like spitballing the math in my head. But I think that's correct. That's like a weird number of Jiggies you need to beat this. That is kind of the problem with Banjo Kazooie 1 as well, to be fair. Alright, let's not go there yet, because I want to do the outside stuff. I need a flight pad, so now I can do the star thing here. I'm going to see if I can grab this Mumbo token while I'm at it. Nah, I flew the second I hit the ground. And unfortunately burned the feather. Yeah, this ROM hack does a lot of interesting trickery to get different areas conjoined. The fact that we go inside of Grunty's castle and that counts for Hyrule Field is a very interesting trick. It decoupled the loading zones at that point, just to technically put you back in Grunty's castle in terms of what the game thinks. And this is one of the earlier Banjo-Kazooie mods made by the specific dev, because what I hear, the other one that's available here in the Recomp, Nostalgia 64, because I believe that came out last year, 2025. That has a lot more custom stuff to it. It's a very, very interesting, kind of like night and day difference of what 5 years can do in the modding scene. Alright, they're both pushing all the way. I don't know what the point of doing that is, though. We'll find out later, I guess. Okay, well, definitely it's not for that, because the star isn't active. Oh, I didn't see this one. There's one more Grunty eye to hit. Now that probably makes something happen, and sure enough, it's a Jiggy. Well, what do you do with the star? Is that just going to be here for show? Or is that actually going to be a real thing like it is in Freeze Easy Peak? Because you go through that 3 times on Freeze Easy to spawn a Jiggy, but you need to activate it first. I don't know where the on-off button is for the star. Okay, it wasn't that bad. Only one honeycomb down. When I have double of them, it's fine to lose one. Oh, I just realized because I died technically, so I can reset myself. I did lose the Jinjos, and I also left the area, so we reset fully. So I do need to get the Jinjos again, which is a real pain. Oh, Twinklies. So this is how you activate the star then. Where are they gonna be though if it's the Bowser stuff? You there! That ugly witch stole my Christmas lights. Can you make sure they get back safe? See on Christmas lights. I know I'm evil, but that's too much. You say you're evil, but how can that be? With your plumber foes, you race and party! Grunty has a very good point. How are you evil, but you keep on having fun with the plumbers that keep on kicking your butt? Not really evil. Okay, these cycles are kind of cursed. I can't believe I got a flow after all that mess in the beginning. Oh, I'm done. Let him go. And it's even a Mario star too, of course. Great, now hit the star switch behind that pipe. For my window, I was using those lights. Give those back. You have no rights. You gonna take Bowser to court over that? Okay. Put on your wing cap or whatever and go through that star and finish the job. You better stay put, right on the ground, or up your butt. My boot will be found. What if you can't find your boots? What if we just hit them on you? Now you probably just lost them naturally with how filthy you are. You don't clean. So how do you know you didn't misplace the boots? There we go. Oh, and that's where the Jiggy spawns. That's an interesting spawn area. How do I get that? Can I just jump this? Okay, that did not look like that was gonna reach, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, let me look down here, because I didn't look all around this area before. Nice fake out. I would want a feather for all that danger. There's another one over here for free. Oh, and this is how you're supposed to see the Jinjo in jail. This is the jail cell we just came from. Can you make it up there? I almost feel like there would be a thing hidden on that box. But I think it's just slightly too high, even if you do like the jump off technique like this. Yeah, you're not supposed to get up there. Oh, there's why. There's an extra box. I didn't even see that's a 3-stack. Alright, this door I imagine is nothing. Never mind, it's a real door. For what, though? Oh. Well, that makes sense. Can I read any of this on the floor? No, that is all extremely low res. There's no way I'm reading that. No matter what this specific ROM hack goes through, emulators, recoms, decoms, it won't matter. As long as those original textures are super low res, they're gonna stay super low res. This must be Grunty's bedroom. I'm not gonna fight you proper, that just takes way too long. Can't reach the painting of Grant. Oh. Nice final boss for Ukulele. I can't remember. Capital B, I believe his name was. Oh, just Boggy in the corner. Why is Boggy here? He was in Forest Temple last I checked. I gotta see if Boggy says anything, because I have no idea why he's in Grunty's room all of a sudden. Oh, there's Grunty's broom. Boggy? How'd you get here? Boggy was my father's name. I'm his son Groggy. You look different. Older and fatter are the words I use. I traveled through time looking for my father, but I never found him. How awful! All I got left is my cap, one of his old scarves, and a Jiggy I hid under my bed. Ooh, thank you for that information. You're gonna have like one less of those things here in a minute. I don't know if he means this bed though. Like, is this supposed to be Groggy's room? Because I remember that. There was a kid that we found in Jabu Jabu named Groggy, and he did say something about how he was, you know, missing his father, he never came home. We found him in Forest. So this is him 7 years later. You look remarkably like your father. I don't know what bed he's talking about, so it might not be this one. There's no way under it. Oh, just playing Breath of the Wild in here, huh? Wait, is that on the Wii U in particular? The heathen. Playing the Wii U game on the Wii U? How dare they? Don't you know there's a 4K version that you don't have to emulate? Oh, who am I kidding? They're probably emulating the Wii U version playing 4K. So here's your Wii U gamepad. Specifically, they're using one of the deluxe ones if it's black. It's just a giant rectangle, though. I guess we don't know how to do, like, smooth lines in this ROM hack. Here's the Wii U itself, which just looks like a giant black box on the top. That's better. And then there it is, Breath of the Wild, which I can't tell where they're at in the game and how low res it is. I can tell he's wearing the champion's tunic and that that hood from Kakariko Village. Nice overscan on the TV, though. The hearts are getting heavily cropped off. I still have, like, some older 1080p panels that do that. I used to use them for a while as computer monitors, but I always would have to go into, like, the NVIDIA control panel just to fix the overscan. It was way too aggressive. Because I couldn't turn it off, which sucked. Alright, so that was the final Jinjo. I found them all now, so I just have to retrace my steps for all the other ones. How do I get up there? That book looks like my shock pad, but it's in the bookcase. Not dealing with you. Or you. And even you. I have no idea how you're supposed to get up there. Maybe I can get from the top of the fireplace. Oh yeah, you just barely make it. Although I don't know why we do with that shock pad. Have to get Hyrule Castle. Yeah, it would be thematic. It's a little hard to tell with the res, but it could be one of the inside layers of the castle. How did that not land on the other platform? Because I'm either thinking that's Hyrule Castle or that's inside one of the tents they can find all throughout the land. Because it almost looks like a tent roof. There we go. Give me this. And now we just have 2 more of these actually to collect because one of the Jiggies is going to be a Jiggy we get from the Jinjos. We already know that. So I guess my better dungeon. We're going back in the toilet. Still do want to know. Hang on. Actually, I can maybe cheese this a bit. If the camera clips inside of an object, I can see inside of this dude. I'm not seeing anything under him. So hopefully that means we don't need to go find a flight pad here. And then that gets us something underneath the snowman. I really hope we don't have to do that. Give it one area with the shrine. Maybe, yeah. Because that's why I'm thinking, like, it looks like a tent almost on the roof. And that shrine you're talking about could be technically the area in Castle, if that's the screenshot in question. I would love an uncompressed version of the screenshot. Then we could probably figure out where that actually is. Alright, this is going to be our second to last honeycomb. We already know what the last one is. And I know I can take this transformation out of this area by dying. So that's how I get the last honeycomb. So we're not going to do that just yet. That's like the last thing we're doing with this Wendy's slushy. Seriously, I don't know exactly what this is because it could be like one of many things. It's some kind of frosty drink, obviously, but it has no branding. I do hope, though, that the honeycomb in question we're about ready to try to get with this transformation is like the last thing we'll need to do with this. Because once I get the Jiggy and I get the honeycomb, I don't want to use this little frozen drink ever again. It's way too slow. Alright, so I'm just missing the green one, which I did actually miss. Because I think I had the green one before when we got the orange Jinjo, so I'll just have to grab that again. It's not a big deal, I just gotta remember where I grabbed it. And after how many attempts of trying to jump down here, that's the first time I finally get out, like 3 attempts. Alright, time to die. That is such a weird loading zone because it's not a real death because I didn't lose any health from that and I didn't see life counter go down. But it didn't put me back into that area, so it wasn't a void plane like half of the other planes we've been seeing in this ROM hack. It's a very weird kind of warp. But it works. Oh, I did just think one other thing I want to try with this. I didn't see any other beds, so the only other bed left in question has to be that one there in what I thought was Grunty's bedroom, but it has to be Groggy's bedroom. So I'm going to want to go in there with this transformation. I really do not want to fall here, though, because that will kill me, meaning I have to go get all the Jinjos again. I really don't want to do that. I'm more worried about these jumps than the enemies. Because the enemies I can just time dodging, but these jumps are extremely tight. This should be my final one, to be fair. Yeah, it just barely clears it. That's how slow I am with this transformation. It's rough. It's rough being a frozen drink. Alright, there we go. All honeycombs collected in the game. No more are left. And that gives me Jackal! Everybody's favorite reward. Nothing. Yeah, I'm not surprised I didn't fix that here. Because that is a hard-baked issue into Banjo Kazooie. There are 6 extra honeycombs. Collecting them does nothing in the base game. So, of course, they do nothing in a ROM hack. You just have to put one less in the ROM hack at that point for that to work. That'll just remove the 6 extra honeycomb pieces. Alright, let's see if we can get under the bed. This is the only other thing I can think that needs this transformation, but I don't see where I can fit. If this is all solid. Never mind. Not solid. Alright, we're missing one Jiggy then, because I have everything else kind of figured out, because I need one more Jinjo, which gives me 9 out of 10 Jiggies. And then that's gonna be it. So where's the last Jiggy then, I wonder? Either way, I think I'm done with this monstrosity. I don't think I've ever really done that in actual Banjo Kazooie where I force myself to transform back in the world I'm playing, because you can always leave the worlds with transformations. Such a weird thing to do here. Well, that's been such a help. Where did I get the green Jinjo again? I'm trying to remember. It was not in the Fairy Fountain, right? I think it was just Double Defense that was in Fairy Fountain. There shouldn't be anything back in there. And then this room with Brentilda, I think it's just Brentilda and the Jiggy, so we should be good there. I legit actually don't remember where I got the green guy. I'll just double check really quick, so I'm right here. Well, do not fall. Do not. Right on the edge is very nerve-wracking, because I do not want to go collect all these Jinjos again. It'd be the third time I'd be doing that if I died. I'm just double checking, because I don't think it was in here. To be fair, it's good I'm looking around like this because I gotta find the missing Jiggy as well. I don't have all the Jiggies. Oh, wait, no, I remember where it is now. To be fair, I still don't know where I'm missing my final Jiggy, but this is the Jinjo right here. So now just to figure out where I'm missing that last Jiggy. I'm still almost feeling like this dude is hiding something under his hat. It's gonna be the one guy I can't beat bomb. And if that's true, then there's nothing under him. Well, these snowmen always have something hidden underneath them in the actual Banjo Kazooie, so that's why my gut's telling me there could be something there. Nothing else out of the ordinary. And I do believe everything that Brentilda told me I'm done with, so I don't think Brentilda's gonna help. I'll go check with her again, just to refresh myself on all the hints. Should be the final set of hints in the game we get, to be fair. Because after this, shouldn't be any more hints. Alright, what do you have to say? Mario wouldn't be brave enough to jump in the pipe, which we got that. I just saw an old friend of yours walk in the Grunty's bedroom, got that. Grunty stuffed something in the storage room closet after a trip to Pytonic. Alright, got all hints, so it's nothing there. So if anything, it'd be something that I haven't done. Which I might just take the tap out. So we gotta move on. See exactly what I missed here. Okay, are you kidding me? Is it literally just I didn't fly high enough? Because I think it is out here. I mean, this sets us up for the final boss, I guess, if this is literally what I had left. Yep, I just did not fly high enough. Well, that's all the Jiggies in the game. But that's everything in the game, technically, because that should put me at 100%. 100 notes, 10 Jiggies, 2 honeycombs. That should be every single thing if I get to the main totals. Here it is. Game total, 900, 124. Yep, that's everything. That's 100% for the Jiggies of Time. I did have someone ask in the very first part, was I gonna 100% it? And my answer was maybe. Because I don't usually commit to 100%ing ROM hacks with how cryptic they are. But Banjo games are pretty designed for you to get everything. So I'm glad to have gotten 100% for this. And with 3 Jiggies to spare, that opens up the door to the final boss. The King of Hyrule won't let you top. Yeah, we'll see about that. This is gonna be Dingpot instead. This is a very long climb to the top of the castle. Unfortunately, this is not the theme I was expecting to be in here, though, because I would expect this to be the organ theme. I think we're tights and they're real dumb, too. I've seen this one a couple times. Thanks, Grunty. You talked about me not fitting in tights, I think, at least 4 separate times. This is such a long climb up. I think it's the longest climb up I've played in any Zelda game. Because the Ocarina climb isn't this high. Wind Waker's is actually not that bad, actually. It looks like it's gonna take you long, and it actually does. And here's our refills. And Dingpot. Dingpot is the actual king of Hyrule. Dingpot, king of Hyrule. Kneel, peasants. You, king? Don't make me laugh, sewer breath. I bet Gruntilda's got you right under her warty thumb. What are you waiting for, you stupid pot? Attack those 2 with soup that's hot! Sorry, mistress, but Dingpot not having attack animations. I call you king to get you out of the way, but you messed it all up. A price you will pay. Isn't she awful, Dingpot? You should help us take her out. We'll, call you king if you do. Yo, Dingpot wanna be king? Jump in and Dingpot will fire you to Grunty. Yeah, on second thought, Grunty, you can keep Hyrule. Come on, Kazooie. You get to kick her butt again. I suppose I do deserve a reward after slogging through this mod. Alright, let's go. Is there any golden feather refill? This would be weird if they just give you the egg and the feather one. But there's no gold. They put gold feathers here and there. They really do just expect you just to grab feathers here and there, don't they? No. I have a better idea. Yeah, those minions I guess were supposed to be Iron Knuckles. We've seen them all around the game, so I guess, Iron Knuckles are everywhere in this, just like any Ocarina ROM hack. That is just fitting. I wanted to see where this leads, to be fair. Because we have the final worlds unlocked, so there's Grunty's castle. But this. This is what I need. It's a Easter egg hunt. It tells you all the different references in the game. So you can see exactly where the references are, what games are included in those said areas, and you can even see the systems, the people who were picked as winners for the little competition to be featured in Kirko's mod here. Like, this is really neat. There's a lot of Easter eggs. I probably didn't even see all of them. To be fair, there's a list of Easter eggs that I keep on seeing in all of these guide videos from the mod creator himself. I'm not going to bother going through all these because it's literally just looking at stuff. If you want to see all the Easter eggs, there actually is a video covering all the secrets on Mark Kirko's channel, so I'd rather just point people to that. That's what the final thing is. I don't know if you get anything for actually looking at the stuff, because I feel like that specific like wall in question almost feels like I'm getting different things marked off. I think it's just a checklist. That's probably all it is, if I had to bet. So it's just a little like PNG. Doesn't do anything. Hey, do I really want to go on my way for gold feathers? I'll just get the gold feathers in Grunty's castle. I'm not going to be bothering going all throughout the lands, just trying to find gold feathers here and there, or go back to the secret level that tossed me up top. I'd rather not. At least it's easy to get back to the final boss area. It's just a very long climb. That's really it. So yeah, of the 90 Jiggies you need in this game, yeah, the 90, that's great. I'm thinking of notes almost. That's why I almost got my wires crossed. Of the 90 Jiggies here, you need a total of, from the looks of things, 83. 87 if you want to get the extra health. So, just like actual Banjo Kazooie, you need a majority of the collectibles. It feels like it's around 95%. I really do think if you're playing the Banjo games, especially the first one, you kind of just have to 100% it, because that's just the point of it. With how tight the ending is to unlock with percentage, you might as well just do everything. That is one thing I do kind of dislike about Banjo Kazooie. It's just, it's hard for new players to get into the series if they have to play the entire game 100%, since that does drive up the difficulty, and I've heard some people have a problem beating the Banjo games because of some of their later area difficulties, especially if you have to get all the Jiggies. The one nice thing about this mod is there's no game show. That is the hardest part of the first game, and that's the part I hear a lot of people don't like. So that's the part we don't have to worry about. We just take the fight to Grunty. Yeah, a lot of rare games do this kind of crap. Yeah, Jet Force Gemini is, I think, their worst one, because from what I heard, you need to get, like, all the little creatures in the game. I don't know what the people of Jet Force Gemini are called, but you need, like, all of them to get the ending, which is a little extreme. I hear that game's really hard to beat because of that. I was sauce a girlfriend once, but Grunty broke her handle. Ah, jeez. Spousal abuse. Alright, let's finish this. That did not look right. You lousy losers must have cheated. There's no way my castle was defeated. But now that you two have crawled up here, from time I'll make you disappear. And then this is just the standard Grunty fight. It's just an interesting arena. Like, there's a hole in the middle. There's the real difficulty. I need to test something. You don't die. Okay, good. Ouch, my gut, you never hit. If your shot was down a bit. I think I read that fast enough, because that was really fast dialogue. I'm glad this lava isn't insta-death, because the size of the arena are. If you fall down the pit, that's an insta-death in the main game. And it has to be the same for the ROM hack. A little bit of a remix of Zelda music in this too. Yelps of screen now. I could not read any of that. Level pity you can aspire to. Wow. I guess if you're in charge of ROM hack, I know what to look out for. Time to end your fun. Here comes a spell you can't outrun. Oh no, whatever I do. This. They'll hit me. That's quite enough. I think you'll find the next bit tough. It is actually harder than the base game because I gotta now jump higher. The horror. And then the eggs overshoot her. Great. I didn't know I was gonna miss. Now when she flies into you too, that's not great. This arena's kind of cursed, I'm not gonna lie. I'm too close to Grunty for a lot of this stuff to work normally. So I'm gonna change up my strategy a bit to make this a little bit easier. I was waiting for that to hit the wall. No, that didn't come out in time. I could have hit her, but the button didn't come out immediately when I fly. Forgot about that. Missed. I think I was a little too far to the right there. That one extra wiggle of the stick was enough. And I was too high? Okay, didn't look like it was gonna be high there. I was gonna be confused that I didn't hit. There comes the shield, which now means we have the Jinjo section. Natchy Wisp speak too soon. Jinjo come help bear the bird. Come on then, you little punks. Grunty's spell will make your chunks. I'm sorry, what? Sometimes I feel her rhymes are a stretch. How the Jinjo stung and burned. He got me when my back was turned. You were looking right at the Jinjo, Grunty. You cannot make up excuses for that failure. How are you not going in the hole? Go in the hole. How? Thank you. Well, I like to be literally right in front of these holes because I just don't trust the hit detection. There we go, no more moving. That last shot I failed to stop, so down to the ground I'll drop. That honeycomb is just gone. Where'd it go? It dropped around here and it just, I guess, fell through the floor. Fun. Oh no, it's in the lava. Oh, that's just terrible. Oh, I'm just taking a ride on the Jinjonator now. That's no good, you stupid jerk. The Jinjo statue won't work. Says you. Oh, this is awkward. Super awkward. No, don't look! I'm gonna wait. Jeez, with literally 1 health to spare. I was memeing on the double defense before, because it's not really a thing I would need normally for the final boss. This arena is a mess. I hate this arena. I think that's where most of my damage was coming from. Falling into lava half the time. Jeez, talk about cutting it literally to the wire. And yeah, those fireballs were very fast, so they might have been tweaked too. That did not help. Nice camera. Grunty's strength will see me through. When Jinjo's gone, I'll batter you. Yeah, keep on talking. This is very cinematic with the, you know, HUD. It's all over, I can tell, but Grunty's got just one more spell. Which actually does hit us. It's just a wet fart, because it doesn't work. And now she falls 7 years into the past, because now we're back in the world of Banjo Kazooie from the looks of things. Nope, this is still in the future. Never mind, because this is outside of her castle. And she gets crushed right outside of her home. Momo's just there. That stupid developer promised me invincibility, he said I be. Curse you, Kirko. Curse you, Bottles. Curse you too, Banjo and Kazooie. Now seeing fantastic credits screen. Maybe with surprise. See you in Banjo Kazooie. Stay at home. This was released during the pandemic, so that's what that meant. Oh, hang on. Do I play this? Oh, I do. The credits are playable. I wasn't expecting that. But that's it. That's the end of Jiggies of Time. Outside some jank here and there, which is pretty normal for almost every single ROM hack I've ever played, this is pretty good. Like, I can easily recommend this mod to most people because it is a solid game. And it has a lot of charm to it. Including in the Triforce. That was a real thing. You must have cheated. It's not fair. The Triforce goes to the ugly bear. Wow, Kazooie. We got the Triforce. This is even better than the Ice Key. Meh. You see one gold shiny thing, you've seen them all. The Triforce will grant any wish to the mortals who obtain it. Gosh, well, how about you get us out of this moronic mod and put us in a real, new HD game? Very well, your wish shall be granted. Well, hey! As soon as Rare gets around to it. It should only be a couple decades or so. Oh. Yeah, that wish is never happening, it feels like, which is kind of sad. And that's it, the end. We get put back in our house after that, okay. I need some health, because I do want to see Grunty in the floor, because that would be funny. So, let's go get some health. Yeah, get an impression, it is bad. Agreed. I've seen better. She even stopped rhyming at the end to say the curse you lines, which was very out of character for Grunty. Oh, she's not here! Oh, come on. She fell right here. That would have been great to see, but this doesn't count as Hyrule Field. That must have been a separate map for the ending credits scene. So, to actually go here in particular and hope to see Grunty, it's not the same Grunty's castle as we just saw in the ending scene. It's like a completely different area. So there must be two versions of this map, one that's actually somewhere in the Hyrule Field, just for that ending alone. Because in actual Banjo Kazooie, when you do defeat Grunty, you can see her in just the beginning overworld area of the game. Her body is under that rock. So that was actually like a very nice touch if you're playing Banjo Kazooie. you actually do see the world transform, technically. But now I'm curious because you can't rematch Grunty in Banjo Kazooie, and I'm wondering, can you rematch her here in the mod? Because this is kind of a different experience. I'm just wanting to see. But yeah, to kind of like finish up my final thoughts on this. This is a solid mod. I will say though, there are points you're gonna get stuck in this. I mean, when I first played this, I literally got stuck in the very first area, Lost Woods. Because when I skipped the tutorial and just decided, I know how to play this game already. I played so much Banjo Kazooie. I don't need bottles to give me the tutorial. Well, unfortunately, it also doesn't give you hints. And one of the hints tells you that you can swim behind some leaves and water, which is where you need to go to get one of your first upgrades. So stuff like that is kind of the issue I have with this game in particular. There are certain things that are very well hidden, and it might be a little difficult for a first-time player, but thankfully, if you get stuck anywhere, there are videos on the developer's YouTube channel that you can easily just go look up and use as a guide. In fact, there's even timestamps in one of the pinned comments in every video telling you where all the Jinjos are, Jiggies, Mumbo tokens, and even all the Easter eggs if you want to see all the Easter eggs for yourself. So that's why I can easily recommend this, even though it does have its weird cryptic moments. Those cryptic moments aren't as bad because there's video guides from the actual dev. So if you ever get stuck somewhere, you can easily get unstuck. Alright, let's just see now. Do we even rematch Grunty? Because I believe normally going in the ding pot here just puts you in the arena, but there's no fight. Let's see if the mod does the same thing. Kind of. It just puts you at the credit scene. No, you have to climb all this. Well, that's unfortunate, but here's your credits again. So going into the final battle just puts you in credits. So just like actual Banjo Kazooie, you don't rematch Grunty. That's just not a thing in Banjo Kazooie, which makes sense, not a thing here as well. But I didn't expect being put back here. And that Triforce was a real thing we collected, because it's not here. So can I see maybe a hidden stop and swap screen, which just has the Triforce? Yes, there is just a screen for the Triforce. That's interesting. I do like that, though. I agree, that is pretty cute, because I wasn't expecting something like that. So you can easily just have the Triforce here in the ending area, which that's pretty cool. I do kind of wish there was an animation of Banjo holding it up, though. That would have been great. But unfortunately, the best you can do is jump in the air like I just did, and then just pretend it's above you by going into the menu like this. And then looking at your shiny Triforce. Hey, this is one thing this game has over actual Ocarina of Time. This was planned to be in the game, but was scrapped near the end of development, I believe, for Ocarina. Like, it was pretty late into the game, I believe Triforce was scrapped. So this mod has one thing over the original Banjo, or not Banjo, Ocarina experience, I'll say. But yeah, no, this was an interesting mod in general. I really enjoyed my time with it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching at home too. And this is easily something you can play because now it's available on so many different platforms. You have the N64, you have the PC via the Recomp, and soon enough, the Decomp. So that's cool. There's many ways of playing this. Now let me see that final file. I want to see it in the end. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to quit the game, I believe, for that. Because I want to see my total play time. So I just quit. Load it back up. And there it is, 9 hours and 10 minutes. That's about the same length as an actual Banjo Kazooie 100% run for me. Because it normally takes me about... Also, I did the math way off. Why did I think it was 90 Jiggies? It's 100 Jiggies. So you need 87, which means you need... Technically... No, it was what? 83, I think I said? I don't even remember what I said at this point. That's how blanked I am, I guess. You do still need like 90% of the game's collectibles in general. You still need most of it. But this is pretty on par with what the actual main game is, around like 90% of the collectibles, I'd say. So, you're playing this in the same way as you do vanilla Banjo Kazooie. Just grab everything, because you're gonna need it to unlock the ending. So, there's that. So yeah, again, fun, recommended. Either be original hardware, N64 emulator, recomp, and soon enough the decomp port that's coming out in July. If there's any platform I don't recommend playing, Jiggies of Time, it's N64 emulation. Because if you're going to play this on an emulator, just play it via one of the PC ports at that point. You're going to get a better experience with less lag and more customization than an emulator. If you're going to play the N64 version of this, do it on a flash card, on OG hardware. Don't bother with an emulator now. Recomp was great for this. And I unironically might just play this again soon enough when it releases on decomp in July. Because I'm just kind of banjo-pilled right now. I've been wanting to play more of the game. The other night, I played, like, the first 3 worlds while I was just kind of winding down for the night, so kind of in a banjo mood. But either way, this was fun.